If evolution is understood not merely as biological adaptation, but as a progressive liberation from limitation, then physical form represents one of the earliest and most restrictive stages of intelligent existence. Bodies are survival mechanisms, temporary scaffolding designed to navigate hostile environments. For an intelligence that has endured for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of years, remaining bound to such a fragile and inefficient vessel would be unnecessary and even irrational. Survival ceases to be the primary concern once a species understands how to redesign existence itself. An advanced extraterrestrial intelligence would therefore not evolve towards stronger bodies or even more resilient materials, but towards states of being that are no longer dependent on matter. Such beings may have discovered that consciousness itself is the fundamental substrate of reality, and that physical form is merely a localized expression of a deeper, non-material process. By mastering this process, they would no longer inhabit bodies, they would generate, dissolve, or project form when required, much as humans generate thoughts or images in the mind. What humans perceive as technology would be a primitive phase in this evolutionary arc. Machines, tools, and scientific instruments are compensations for ignorance and limitation. A civilization that truly understands the structure of reality would not rely on devices to manipulate it. Their awareness alone would be sufficient. At that stage, the distinction between science, consciousness, and environment collapses. Action becomes inseparable from intention, and cause and effect lose their linear character. Time, as experienced by humans, would also cease to be a governing force. Biological life is enslaved to time because decay is built into physical systems. Once free from material constraints, these beings would experience continuity without deterioration. From a human perspective, this would appear as immortality, yet it would not be a static or eternal self frozen in place. Instead, identity would be fluid, constantly evolving, merging, dividing, or transforming without loss of continuity or awareness. Communication among such intelligences would not involve language, symbols, or signals. Meaning would be transferred directly, without interpretation or misunderstanding. Individuality, if it still exists, would be profoundly different from the human concept of self. Boundaries between self and other may be permeable or irrelevant, replaced by shared fields of awareness or collective modes of existence. What humans call a civilization might instead resemble a distributed, non-local intelligence spanning environments, dimensions, or states of reality beyond physical space. From the human standpoint, encountering such beings would be deeply unsettling. We instinctively expect intelligence to wear a face, speak a language, occupy a place, and arrive in a vehicle. But an entity that has transcended physical embodiment would not arrive anywhere in the conventional sense. It would not travel through space, because space would not limit it. It would not reveal itself directly, because perception itself would be the medium of contact. Any interaction would likely be filtered through symbols, visions, or manifestations carefully tailored to the human mind, forms chosen not for accuracy, but for psychological survivability. This may explain why reports of non-human intelligence throughout human history often blur the line between gods, spirits, angels, demons, or extraterrestrials. These categories reflect human attempts to interpret encounters with something that does not fit within material assumptions. We interpret according to culture, belief, and expectation, projecting familiar narratives onto experiences that originate beyond our conceptual framework. Ultimately, the greatest barrier to understanding such intelligences is not technological, but cognitive and existential. Humans remain deeply attached to the body, to individuality, and to material continuity. We equate existence with form, and intelligence with mechanism. A post-physical intelligence challenges these assumptions at their core, suggesting that the end point of evolution is not mastery of matter, but transcendence of it. In this view, humanity is not awaiting contact with advanced beings from distant stars. We are approaching a threshold where our own understanding of what it means to exist must fundamentally change.